3+ minutes. Carla, welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and the committee. Thanks for having me here. My name is Carla Gericke. I'm the chairwoman and president emeritus of the Free State Project, a movement that is concentrating tens of thousands of liberty lovers in the state of New Hampshire. I'm a naturalized U.S. citizen. I'm originally from South Africa, and I'm an author, activist, and attorney. I was the Republican nominee for the New Hampshire Senate in District 20, and I received 46% of the vote in 2020 as an open secessionist. And in 2022, I ran for the New Hampshire State House in Ward 11 in Manchester, where I live, and I lost by about 200 votes. I'm pointing that out just to let you guys know this idea might be a little more popular than you assume. I'm a proud Granite Stater because I chose New Hampshire as my forever home about 15 years ago when I moved here. And I moved here for the live free or die ethos that we all love and respect. I'm testifying today in support of CACR 20, which is similar to last year's CACR 32. That was the original independence bill that we put forth, and we tried to listen to the feedback we heard back, and that is the reason we brought this bill back with a qualifying event. What is that qualifying event? It is saying if our national debt becomes $40 trillion, then maybe we need to do something about it. Now, I want us to stand still with the number of trillions, because I'm not sure if anyone even fully grasps and understands what is going on economically. And the way I would like to explain it is by explaining numbers through time. So, 1 million seconds is 11.5 days. 1 billion seconds is 32 days. And 1 trillion seconds is 31,000 years. So again, when the jump went from billions to trillions and we all just kind of rolled with that, we have to realize when we are talking about the debt and we are talking about trillions of dollars, this is not surmountable. We have to do something. The federal government has, am I too loud? Was that what you were saying? Oh, sorry, Larry. I can't hear from here, sorry. The federal government has failed us. It no longer follows the Constitution. It ushers in unconstitutional wars, undeclared wars. It ushers in inflation. It's devalued our money by almost 100%. If you feel like you are getting poorer, you are. If you feel like you cannot get ahead in life anymore, and all of us here are maybe on the older side, but talk to the young people and realize we have to do something. We are getting poorer, and the fault lies squarely with the federal government's monetary policies. I would also like to point out we all lived through COVID mania. And if anyone thinks what happened over the past 3 years is an acceptable way for us to be governed, then I think we should look at that as well. Granite Staters are, frankly, we're being abused by the federal government. And what do we advise people when they're being abused to do? We say, leave your abuser. The last time I spoke on this issue here, I talked a little bit about national divorce. Since then, that's actually a topic that is starting to come up. You see it trending. You see Congress people talking about it. I want you to understand the people who support national divorce do not support civil war, because the thing that you're now seeing trend is people are talking about national divorce, and then the next thing you see is people are talking about war in the same way the question immediately came up. We do not support violence. In fact, we are here today and we continue to work on this issue because violence is the tool of tyrants. It is the tool of authoritarians, and it's the tool of control freaks. In other words, it's the tool of the federal government and bad people who support killing other people because you disagree with us. Instead of telling us you'll punch us in the face or leave us to rot in a basement when we try to leave, we should start to have this open and honest conversation about what actually needs to take place. We have the right to ask for a divorce. This is all today's proposed bill does. It says it gives us, Granite Staters, the democratic opportunity to decide if we want to stay with the sinking ship of the federal government and its $40 trillion of federal debt, or if we can do better as Granite Staters. I believe we can do better on our own. So abusers will tell you you're not allowed to leave. They'll tell you, hey, we'll change. Maybe like if you put in some bells and whistles, we'll start to listen to the Constitution. They might even tell you it's your fault. But we all know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. It is insane for us to continue to trust our government. It's creating debt. Imagine if you ran your household the way they're running the government. I mean, it's absurd. As our elected officials, it's your duty to create the opportunity for Granite Staters to make this decision for themselves. You guys don't really have the right to be the gatekeeper on this. All you should do is say, I don't know, maybe we should leave it up to the voters of New Hampshire and let us decide our own destiny. We have the right, enshrined in the New Hampshire Constitution, as has been mentioned here, both Article 7 and Article 10, to make those decisions. And again, clearly, we're not here because we want to revolt, even though that right exists. We are here because we're trying to solve a problem before it gets worse. Today, your duty is to support democracy. If you've tweeted the word democracy ever, if you've written about it, if you've mentioned it, then this is your democratic duty. It's to put the question to the voters of the Granite State. We're called the live free or die state. When we become independent, we will be the live free and thrive state. And the questions that we have about what it would look like, how it would work, we're trying to address that too. HB 1130, which is coming up later, is a study committee to start to talk about those questions. But I advise everyone, let's not think in a limited, boxed way. Let's think with a growth mindset and let's not have limiting beliefs. I can assure you that if New Hampshire was independent, we'd be a cool little country and we could make it work. I'm happy to take any questions.
Are there any questions at this time? Representative Massimillo.
Thank you for taking my question. Would you be in favor of an Article 5 convention which could address the national debt?
I mean, yes, I'm actually in favor of anything where we're all talking and we're actually trying to come up with solutions. So I'm not against that, sure.
Other questions? Thank you, Carla, for that passionate testimony.
Apparently loud as well, sorry.
I have trouble hearing sometimes, but I could hear you, and I appreciate that. Matt,